Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Om Hari Om. Om Ishvaro Guru Atmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyakta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Namo Namaha. Welcome to all divine selves and transcendental friends from across the globe. I am going to put before you today the philosophy, the theoretical dimensions as well as the practical dimensions of meditation, especially Vedantic meditation. Broadly speaking, all meditation systems have one objective in mind, spiritually speaking. Mind the word. Spiritually speaking, all kinds of meditations have one ultimate objective, and that is the realization of the true nature of the self, attainment of the ultimate potential inherent within each one of us. It's another matter, and it's rather a great tragedy in the human history, that in the era of extra and utter commodification of everything, meditation too has been sought to be commodified and presented in such a way that more and more of clientele, quote unquote, more and more of customers and clientele could be seduced to come and learn meditation. That's a great tragedy. At least I personally believe. It doesn't mean that self-realization, enlightenment, God realization is the sole objective, and the other material, incidental, pecuniary benefits that come along with practice of meditation are trivial, are not useful. But to practice meditation just to get free of mental stress, or to have a sense of well-being, the latest scientific discoveries have revealed, and rightly so, and that's good, that huge physical, biological, mental, emotional benefits accrue to all the practitioners of meditation. But to practice meditation just to delay the physical body's aging process or to prevent mental stress or physical ailments is just like hurling down atom bomb to kill flies, using and employing AK-47s to kill mosquitoes. Because meditation is such a powerful weapon that has the potential, and that has been devised by the ancient sages and seers of ancient India to kill the greatest enemy, repeat, greatest enemy of yours and mine. Only one enemy we do have. Spiritually speaking, there is no enemy, either external or internal, in our life other than one enemy, and to get rid of that, to overcome that enemy, to dissolve that enemy is the ultimate purpose of all kinds of meditation, not only Vedantic meditation, even the yogic meditation and other meditations, even Buddhistic meditation. They speak and explain in different languages, metaphors, to suit and fit into their philosophical systems. But the ultimate objective of all meditation is to kill the enemy called ego. Ego is the only enemy which has created all kinds of problems in our life. Ego alone manifests as mind and compulsive chain of thoughts. So, to break free from compulsive chain of thoughts, that is to go beyond the realm of mind, implies dissolving the ego, which is the only barrier between you and your true nature as the Atman, Brahman, Paramatman. You are living God right here, right now, minus your ego. Somehow, if you are able to dissolve your ego right now, right here, you are bound to manifest as ultimate divinity, the living God, the Brahman. There is no other barrier, there is no other hurdle. The thin veil of ego that manifests as mind, compulsive chain of thoughts, and in turn desires, expectations. These are all different dimensions and manifestations of the ego and ego alone. And ego in Vedanta is a technical term which is defined exactly as the sense of separateness. Sense of separate identity is called ego, So, one non-dual Brahman, the supreme reality of the nature of pure awareness, due to ego, has assumed itself as a limited, finite, mortal, momentary jiva, individual, made of body, mind, intellect. The ego, which has created an illusory and false sense of identity within us as the identity based on body, mind, intellect, is the root problem for all our sorrows and sufferings. Because this false identity of ours as mind, body, intellect, briefly called body complex, has made the infinite as finite, has converted the immortal into mortal. Therefore, the ultimate objective of all spiritual systems is to dissolve the ego in order for transcending the realm of mind and mental modification, whereby all the sense of duality that is visible in the phenomenal world as the body and its associates manifesting as phenomenal world do disappear. What remains after dissolution of ego is pure awareness, that vast and infinite space of pure awareness is that ultimate reality, the supreme truth, variously called as Atman, Paramatman, Supreme Self, Brahman, God, various names, or truth, the ultimate reality. Its nature is of pure awareness. It's of the nature of infinite potential. It's vast field of energy. So, you have two dimensions in your personality. One is this ephemeral, mortal, illusory identity based on the body, that is false, which is gross, perishable, and has a form and name. This alone has created a false identity of yours. So, Vedanta and the Vedic sages and seers, after experimenting for longer periods of time and directly, personally, immediately experimented and realized the nature of supreme reality, they came out with the fundamental principles of Vedanta. One of the most fundamental principles of Vedanta is Drik Brahmeti Drishyamayeti Sarva Vedanta Nishchayaha. The seer, Drik means seer, Drik Brahmeti. The seer is Brahman. The seer is the ultimate reality. The seer is the Atman or supreme reality. And the seen, that is the object of seer and seeing, is this illusory world. Drik Brahmeti Drishyamayeti Sarva Vedanta Nishchayaha. The conclusion, the certain conclusion of all Vedantic scriptures is that the seer is the supreme reality. The seen or the objects being seen are mayamaya, illusory, false, So, have we ever experienced anything other than the objects perceived or seen? This body, my identity, your identity, we have identified with the seen, the objects which are playing in the infinite field of awareness, which are false, which are bubbles in that infinite vast space of awareness. We have identified those illusory, ephemeral objects as our reality. So all Vedantic meditation aims at nothing but to disidentify first with the seen, the gross, anything and everything which has a name and form, that is gross and that is false. That is Maya, that is illusory. That is entire phenomenal world of duality. And that this Maya, the seen, Drishya, is always dual, more than one. But the seer is one, indivisible, non-dual, infinite energy filled of pure awareness. So this is the second most important point to be remembered. While there is diversity and multiplicity in the objects which are illusory, there is non-duality, there is unity, there is only one reality as far as the seer is concerned, the perceiver is concerned. The seer in me and the seer in you, the seer in a dog, the seer in a mosquito and a fly and an eagle and a fish or a crocodile or a tiger and elephant, or a greatest saint or in the most gruesome sinner, the seer is one and the same. That is the self, the Atman, Paramatman, Brahman, the God. So that seer is pure. It's non-doer, non-enjoyer. Beyond the sense of agency, beyond the sense of enjoyership. That's why it's pure, the pure energy field of awareness. So all Vedantic meditation is intended to break free from the compulsive chain of thoughts which have created a false and illusory sense of self in the body-mind complex, and realize, not believe, mind the word, not believe the words of anybody, howsoever enlightened or great one could be, or the words of even the Vedas or Vedantas. The greatest contribution of Veda, mind you, something very revolutionary I am going to tell you. Nowhere in the world, in any scriptures, not even in any literature, fictional work ever, has anyone said what Vedas have declared. Vedas alone declare that the truth is not within me. Vedas say, and Vedic rishis say, the truth is not within me, the truth is within you. You read the various scriptures of various religions, they would say, I am truth, the truth is the exclusive property of mine, don't go anywhere or else you will go to hell. You will suffer millions and billions of hell, the hell fire and hell. Vedas say, don't believe my words, believe your own personal direct experience, the experience of truth within, the self within yourself. Just take a journey within, and for yourself you would realize the grandeur and glory of the Seer, that is the Brahman within. The Brahman within me and the Brahman within an ant or a mosquito or a fly is the same Brahman. It's a non-dual, indivisible reality. It's a formless, nameless, attributeless reality of the nature of bliss consciousness. Intrinsically by nature it's blissful. Love, beauty and bliss is inherent and intrinsic to pure awareness. That is the seer, the perceiver. The beauty and sense of love and bliss we experience and perceive in the external world and external objects is falsely superimposed on that external object. That beauty, love and bliss is essentially the projection of witnessing consciousness, the self, the pure awareness within as seer. Seeing through eyes, seeing through hear. Mind the word. Seeing in sense of perceiving. When I am saying the seer is supreme reality, seer is God, don't take it literally only in the sense of seeing through naked eyes. Seer means perceiver. All the five senses and five sense objects are perceived by the ever-present reality within every being, that is pure awareness, Atmana. That is immortal, that is unborn, and that is beyond death and decay. So, to break free from the illusory identity of the self based on the body and mind, and to re-identify ourselves in our true nature as pure awareness, bliss consciousness, mass of pure intelligence alone as perceiver and seer, and which is indivisible, partless reality. It can never be divided. In the foreground of the existence there is all multiplicity, but in the background where there is pure awareness, there is no diversity, there is no plurality, there is no duality. There is absolute integrated energy field of awareness. That is called Brahman, and that we are. My Brahman and your Brahman are not true. My ego and your ego are true. My mind and your mind are true. The illusory sense of self I have created, a particular sense of self you have created, and all the living beings have created. The difference is here, but in the background, the energy which is propelling and running and illumining every single moment of our experience, that is one as pure awareness. That is Brahman. And that is present in every single molecule, particle or atom of the cosmos. There is nowhere in the cosmos, now the quantum physicists have confirmed it. The science is slowly and slowly coming around to the conclusions that ancient sages and seers of India declared, that this entire world is nothing but a conscious energy field. It's conscious energy field, it's not inert, insentient, gross mass of matter. The gross and inert mass of matter is illusory projection of that very conscious energy field. Do you know, and I am not talking about Vedanta or philosophy, the basic science, the basic biology, the latest biologists will tell you that 99% or more than 99% of your body mass is empty space. Can you believe it? This is not Vedanta's statement, this is not philosophical Seer sage or some religions telling you. The biologists and the scientists have told you that more than 99% of your body mass constitutes empty space. The space, empty space from one atom to another atom is 99%. But can you see it from the naked eye? The illusory perceiving capacity of the photons of the eyes is yet beyond the realm of the science as to how the light is converting the light coming through the eyes, going through the nervous system and converting into knowledge or perception. It's all mystery. The science yet hasn't dared to enter into that field. That is it. The mystery was revealed, and it can be revealed by any one of us who just takes the trouble to go deeper within through what we call meditation, Vedantic meditation. What is Vedantic meditation? I told you there are two fundamental processes, two fundamental pillars on which this entire edifice of self-realization, Vedantic self-realization, the realization of the ultimate nature of the reality depends. The first, just dissolve the false sense of identity that you have created with this body mind. The second, you re-identify with the real, that is the seer, the conscious energy filled within you that is enabling every moment of your activity, every experience, every enjoyment, every sense of emotion or feeling is being propelled and enabled by that pure awareness, the witnessing consciousness in the heart. The light of consciousness is responsible for every single perception or experience, good or bad or ugly. So, to realize and re-identify ourselves with our true nature as pure awareness, that is non-dual, almighty, immortal, eternal, infinite, vast space of pure awareness beyond birth and death, that you are, that I am, and that is the true nature of the cosmos. The material phenomenon world that we perceive and we experience is illusory projection of mind, and mind is the external operational manifestation of the ego. There is nothing called ego minus mind. Ego manifests and operationalizes through mind and thoughts alone. So meditation, Vedantic meditation is practiced, is required for nothing other than to transcend the realm of mind, to go beyond the mind, because as long as there is mind is a false and illusory entity. It is in Vedanta, there is a huge difference between the latest modern science, Western science, and Vedanta philosophy. Vedanta considers mind, body, intellect all as inert. They don't have their sense of consciousness. Their sense of being conscious is borrowed reality. The mind appears to be conscious, intellect appears to be conscious, the body parts and the movement of these hands, it appears that this hand is a conscious reality, but hand as this mass of blood, bones and flesh is unconscious, inert reality. It is being propelled by the conscious energy that is present in every single cell of the body, everywhere. The direction being given, the movement in the body, the words being spoken, it's all being revealed, illumined and being made possible not by body. It is happening through body. Body and body organs are of course equipments, instruments, but not that conscious energy. Just as in the case of a bulb or a tube light is not electricity. It's an equipment that radiates light. The electricity is energy. Similarly, this body and its functions, the body, mind, intellect or emotional functions, all are being revealed, experienced, enabled by that one energy called pure awareness. That is Brahman, that is Paramatman, that is Self. And that is my true nature, that is your true nature. Realization of that true nature which is immortal, unborn and almighty. Its infinite energy filled of pure awareness. So there is no death, there is no birth. It's beyond all sorrow and suffering. It's by nature blissful, loving awareness. Therefore, the ultimate objective of Vedantic meditation is to realize the true self of ours, which is eternal, which is even at this moment alone responsible for the life or existence as we know. The life force in you and the life force in me and life force in every single living being is not this gross mass perceived as body, but the self, the Atman, of the nature of pure awareness. That is the life force. And that life force is one, non-dual, indivisible, formless and nameless and attributeless reality. Self-existing reality, it is a cause of all the causes, but there is no cause of this primordial eternal reality. It's self-existing reality. That reality we are. So, to realize our true nature as Brahman, Atman, Paramatman, that Paramatman, the self as bliss consciousness, pure awareness, can be experienced right now, right here, once the sensory perception and the preoccupation, our preoccupation with sensory perception, ever busy with perceiving the external, illusory, shadowy world. So take a U-turn, that is from the scene, that is from object and objective worlds. Our content of perception is always objective world. So you have to take a U-turn from perceiving, seeing or experiencing or thinking of the objective world, that is the sensory world, to the perceiver. To put it simply, from seeing the objects to seeing the seer. Meditation is all about seeing the seer. I'll repeat it. So simple yet so profound, there is nothing beyond it. In the entire realm of spiritual philosophy and metaphysics, this is the ultimate reality I am revealing before you, and I have myself experimented with that. It will take some time for you to grasp the gravity of the statement. The ultimate objective of all spiritual practices is to perceive and get established in the ultimate reality, that is pure awareness. To put it differently, when the seer sees the seer, it appears a bit awkward, but that is what it is. When the seer begins to see the seer himself, that is the supreme state called nirvana or atma sakshatkar or brahma sakshatkar. So the ultimate objective of all spiritual practices or samadhi or meditation is to attain to the state where the perceiver perceives the perceiver alone. When perceiver stops perceiving the objective world and begins to perceive the perceiver alone, that is called nirvikalpa samadhi. When the seer stops seeing the objective world and takes a U-turn, and when the seer sees nothing but the seer alone, that is called nirvikalpa samadhi, where you realize your true nature as Brahman Atman, that is called God realization, self-realization. That is what is enlightenment is called. In that state there is no duality. Duality belongs in the realm of gross, and gross alone is the objective world. You are going in the subjective realm. All duality belongs to the objective world. The subjective world is non-dual, one, indivisible, of the nature of pure consciousness. So when the subject stops being preoccupied with the object in the external world, and the subject called seer or consciousness becomes the subject of itself, that is the ultimate state. It appears an abstract, but once you begin to practice, the perceiving power, the seeing power within, which enables me to perceive all this external world, when it's turned inward, either anything inward. If you haven't studied philosophy or Vedanta, or even in the beginning it would become difficult. After a few weeks I am going to begin the systematic discourse for those who are true seekers of self-realization. I am preparing for that because most of the people are not aware about these things. So it will serve much of purpose unless I begin from the beginning. So I'm trying to introduce here there slowly and slowly to understand and try to see that people are interested or not. If there are enough number of people who are interested, and for self-realization you doesn't necessarily have to wear this ochre robe or go to Himalayas or abandon your wife or husband and business. No, wherever you are, whatever you are doing is good enough. The only condition is that you must be a true mumukshu. You must have a strong yearning desire for freedom, liberation, that is to know the true nature of yourself. If that you do have, it doesn't require too much of time or energy and resources, but there must be brutal honesty, intense sincerity on your part. Only then you will be able to grow on this path. So, after 5 minutes, I am going to practice it. As I have said in my notification that today I am talking about the theory and praxis of Vedantic meditation. I explained in simple terms the theoretical dimensions, the philosophical dimensions of Vedantic meditation. Now I'll go to the practice. Right now, right here, how to experience that. Let's begin the journey. The journey external we have all experienced. The beauty of the external world, the love in the external objective world we have experienced. But the source of that beauty, the source of all love and bliss, that is within, we have not experienced. In Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Yajnavalkya says to his wife, beloved wife Maitreyi, that the entire love, bliss and beauty found in the external world is just a particle of the bliss of the Atman, the pure awareness that we are. To discover that self within, discover not in the sense that it has been lost. It was never lost. It can never be lost. It's ever present reality. This moment, this place, it's always available. It's always alive. As pure awareness, it's revealing and illuminating every experience of ours. So, how to begin the journey? To experience the true love we are seeking, the love we are seeking in the external world. We have got some, but never satisfied. The sense of beauty, the sense of power, wealth, immortality. Each one of us is seeking immortality in some or the other sense. Each one of us in some way wants to become almighty or omnipotent. Seeking political power or power through having the greatest transnational corporation, being owner of or being a CEO of the biggest corporation, is nothing but that innate desire for every human being to realize its true nature, that is infinite, almighty. That will become possible only and only even if you are the greatest and most powerful politician, a ruler of the world, or the richest person of the world, most famous or most beautiful person of the world. Is transitory, temporary. The sense of lacking, the sense of worthlessness is always there. So you are seeking nothing but eternity, eternality, immortality, because that we are, that in true nature we are. We are seeking infinite fill of bliss and beauty, because that is our true nature. And but out of ignorance we are seeking it in the external world. That is not going to be possible. So I am going to begin for the beginners in a very simple way. Simplest. If you have honest desire to grow on the path of spirituality and to know the true dimensions of your own personality, you have to delve deeper within. Not my words, not the scriptures, but your own experience alone. I have become, this Sacchidananda has become Sanyasi not getting inspired by, despite reading from childhood all the spiritual, philosophical treatises, but not because of their sayings, but because with grace of the God, or whatever one would say, for last 30 years and way back as a young boy, I managed to test the real sense of the self that never allowed me to distract. All my attachments to the world and worldly affairs, and I am an ordinary person, this Sacchidananda being, but the power of the single drop of the nectar of the self you can once taste, you will live as an ordinary person, yet it would be so overpowering on you that even if you are living as an ordinary householder, ordinary human being doing some job or running business, yet it will have overriding influence and pull, mesmerizing, nectarine sense of bliss that you experience and enjoy. It's unparalleled. So nobody needs to convince you. You will be self-convinced once you practice. So now I can go for 2 to 3 hours normally, but here currently I am in Delhi and it's extremely hot. I'm sweating. So for another maybe 15-20 minutes or half an hour, we will practice. What are we going to practice? That I'll explain in the beginning itself. So simple. There would be 2 stages at this moment. I don't have to do that. But those who don't know this system, most of them don't know, to make it easier and meaningful, first stage, meditation combined with certain pranayam. Together, it's not a pranayam, it's a Vedantic meditation. I have divided into 2 stages. To begin with, to bring the ever scattered mind under control, that will be practiced for 5 minutes. Thereafter, we will go straight in the meditation. The mantra we are going to use today for Vedantic meditation, keep in mind the ultimate objective of all spiritual practices in Vedanta is to realize your true nature. So this meditation finally leads to Samadhi, Nirvikalpa Samadhi, and that is the final stage. So I'm not going to talk about Nirvikalpa Samadhi or Savikalpa Samadhi. After a few weeks, I am going to start the entire series of self-realization from the beginning. There we will deal. Today there is very little difference between meditation and Samadhi, so we are not going to talk about that. Today we will focus on Vedantic meditation. That meditation itself is such a wonderful experience. So our mantra would be Soham. I am that. When I say I, that I is not this mind, body, intellect entity, but the I is the seer within, the self. So I am that, and that is indicative of that supreme, eternal, immortal, infinite, almighty reality of the nature of pure awareness. That stands for that. So for the time being, whatever I have identified myself as I, it will do. Slowly and slowly, it will take a few months to disidentify, disengage with. So I too, in whatever false or right identification, essentially that I am, what I am, is that supreme reality alone. Soham. Once I begin that meditation practice, in between I may keep explaining, simplifying it. So the first stage will be combined with meditation, breathing exercises, pranayam, but it's not pranayam, mind you, it's not pranayam. This technique was given by none other than Jagatguru Adi Shankaracharya. Nowhere is it found. Some people might practice in a different way, but that's a wonderful practice. And then followed by, we will stop that pranayam and it will go freely along with the mantra alone. It will be a mental practice alone. So our mantra for today's meditation is going to be, in fact, the entire Vedanta philosophy revolves around this concept alone. The realization of the identity and unity between the individual self and supreme self is the ultimate objective of all spiritual practices and all metaphysics. So this one mantra is enough. This one mantra itself is found as the four great Mahavakyas in Upanishads. So this is the simplest one. Let's take it and start the meditation. The first stage where we have to practice in such a way that those who don't have control over their mind, they don't know how to stop their compulsive chain of thoughts. That's why it's coupled with breathing exercise. What we will do, just see, watch me. First I'll do once or twice, then I'll explain it. The mantra will be always running in the background. Soham, I am that. So what I'm doing, please watch this. It was one round. What I did, there were 4 stages in this one round of breathing coupled with the mantra and meditation. When I am taking breath, long, mind the word, long, slow and deep breath, comfortable. Don't fight with the body or breath or anything. As much as everybody has different level of comfort. So take deep, long, slow breath. Along with that, you are mentally using the mantra Soham, I am that. What is the point in this breathing? Breathing or pranayam loosens the grip of compulsive thoughts. So it becomes easier for mind to come deeper, go deeper and meditate so easily. So that we will do. For 5 minutes we will do pranayam with meditation with the mantra Soham, I am that. And after 4-5 minutes, there would be no breathing exercise. You will become still as comfortable breathing, natural breathing and breathe out. but mentally you will be meditating on that mantra, so silently. So now I will go silent. For 5-6 minutes I will practice the first phase of this Vedantic meditation, that would be along with the pranayama. When I am taking breath within, breathe in, I am saying that mantra, 1, Soham. When I am holding it there, the kumbhaka, there I am making a steady resolve, I am that, Soham. But when I am doing breathe out, I'm not revealing the mantra at this stage. It's a very systematic, complex thing I have devised, but just feel that you are dispelling the darkness, ignorance, all that you have been trapped in. The false identity of the body is being dispelled. The reverse of this has to be remembered or meditated upon. I am meditating upon the fact that I am that when I am breathing and holding the breath. But when breathe out, so I am dispelling the darkness within me. The darkness is my identity with the body, mind and the world. So you can use the mantra like that, or simple words. This body, the gross body and the visible universe is false. Jagat mithya. For the beginners, my mantra is just feel that this Jagat includes your body, mind, intellect, the entire world of duality. So feel deeply that this Jagat mithya, and that Jagat mithya is being dispelled from your realm of consciousness. Again, when Bahya Kumbhak, external steadiness, there you can feel I am that, Soham. So 4 dimensions of this. After you do 4-5 rounds of this, then this breathing pattern will stop, and there will be meditation only on the mantra. Soham. Silence, you don't have to tell. But as I explained, your focus, your attention is going to be within. There is Seer, the light of consciousness, the aura within that you will realize and perceive at that point of time, the Seer. So you have to bring again and again the mind and thoughts from the objective world to the subjective world that is within you. So ultimate objective of meditation is to bring back the preoccupied mind from the objective world to the subjective world. The subjective world is the field of pure awareness, that is the immortal Brahman, self, Atman, right now, right here. So that your false identity with the objective world would be broken, you will be free from that, and re-identification with the true self as pure awareness, as Atman, will begin to take shape, to become firmer by affirmations. The first one is negation, neti, negation, rejection of the false identity. And then the second, the affirmation, firm affirmation of my true nature as Sat Chit Anand, existence, consciousness and bliss, that within I am. So this much is the communication through speech. Now I will stop and I will go. You can watch my face, it will help you. Within a couple of minutes I will just disappear. I can go straight in at least in Vikalpa Samadhi. You can see that. Though the environment is a little not so conducive due to extreme heat here, but still I can go. So you can practice what I have told you Or if you find it so difficult, you just watch my face. You can see that how it, I'm not just going to close my eyes, you can realize that it has disappeared. My attention has appeared in a different world. If you have the capacity, you have experienced, you have heard some meditation, you will realize that it will help you to yourself to become still. Watching another meditator or even thinking about anyone meditating, you yourself become still, because we are not two, we are one. The true reality is integrated of the nature of pure awareness. So somebody who is practicing meditation around will have a deeper impact on you. You will be forced to become still, and you begin to pull within and inward. So even watching the people who are meditating becomes a great meditation practice. So